to the Mind of Basketball podcast, also known as M.O.B podcast. I am Evan,
And I'm Ja.
and this is our basketball podcast where we recap, break down, and analyze players and teams from the previous games from the previous day. How are you? It's Friday afternoon, Ja.
Oh, I can't wait to go back to sleep.
Well, it is Friday. The weekend is almost here, so I hope everyone's staying in there. I hope everyone have a good day. I hope everyone will have a good day and, eventually have a great weekend. Not many games happened last night, but a lot happened in those games to talk about and discuss. Also, a trade happened, so we will cover that. And of course, as always, our predictions for tonight's set of games. But first, starting off with the possible finals matchup between the Los Angeles Lakers, defending champions, and the Milwaukee Bucks and their reigning MVP back-to-back Giannis. And this was a really entertaining game, as you would expect from these two type of teams. Very high caliber offensively. Both teams just going at it. But in the end, the Lakers, led by LeBron and, surprisingly, KCP, who had a big game and a big night, stepped up, and they was able to win this game, close it out late in that fourth quarter, seal the deal against this Bucks team.
Well, you said it, man. It was a close, entertaining game. Teams were doing it on both ends. They was really giving it to each other. It looked like what we could possibly see if one team could make it over the hump. But until that happens, then we're just gonna be having a what if situation for right now. And it was really competitive, highly competitive. But as I always say, a king can never crown himself, and the king that never crowns himself, don't get me wrong, the king that crowned himself and the king that never crowns himself were both doing vibes, but the king that never crowns himself, he had to show what he could do. Come on, man, he was putting on a scoring clinic, and just like what you said, KCP, he had it raining from three, and the Lakers had it raining from three in that second half too, and they were doing vibes, but King James is King James. Come on, this.
Well, yeah, even though you somehow found a way to hate on Giannis even more, I agree with you in terms of what LeBron, he was just really just balling out. And yeah, the 3-point line, they really utilized this last night. I mean, it was just a barrage. a barrage. Caruso had that big three late, and then LeBron had that. Once I knew LeBron got the ball, pull up the footage. Once I knew LeBron had the ball, I knew he was gonna shoot it, and I knew it was going in. Because that's, come on now. But real quickly for the Bucks, Middleton and Holiday did have a good game, and Giannis struggled. It might not show in terms of offensively, in terms of field goal percentage and the shots he made or missed. But one, he was in foul trouble.
Yeah,
and two, the turnovers was killing him in the Bucks. He had 9 turnovers last night. For MVP and for the best player on a possible championship team, that can't happen. But credit to the Lakers defensively. I mean, they are one of the best defensive teams in the league. They were one of the best defensive teams last year. That's why they got to the finals and won it all.
Yeah.
So they know how to stop your best player, or at least limit him, or at least force him into trouble.
Yeah, and I can understand, and yes, call him out on it, but I also, again, when you're going against a team like the Lakers who are so talented defensively, and you got a guy like Giannis who, even though is very skilled, he still has some flaws that that a defensive team like the Lakers could expose. It's just you can't fault him for those turnovers. It comes with the game. Like stars like him, because we even seen Braun in situations like that before, in which even he had games in which
look at him trying to change sides. Look at him trying to get on Giannis' good side.
All I gotta say is
nigga must have just met his brother.
You missed this.
That's all I gotta say. Now that I call him out, now you want to go back to hating. We already caught you. It's cool though. I mean, he must have just met his brother.
As I was saying, you know what? It comes with the game. Stars get careless with the ball at times, especially ball dominant stars who are really good with with facilitation and everything. It just comes with the game. So Giannis just has to again, go in the film room, watch what he did. Because again, you're saying this could be a possible finals prediction, right?
Possibly,
Like a team
yes.
that you can see, right? You don't want them. You don't want this happening if you meet up in the finals. Again, this is just one game, so I'm not going to make a big deal out of it, but it's just a learning stone. That's all.
Okay, I agree with you, but the turnovers, I don't care. Yes, it's a part of the game, but 9 turnovers, no, that's not a part of the game. That's not supposed to happen. Now, one player, I don't care who you are, role player, superstar, star MVP, defensive player, no matter. You're not supposed to have 9 turnovers in a single game. That's not part of the game. Him having three
Okay.
turnovers, him turning over the ball late, crucially. Okay, yeah, that things happen like that, but no, I'm not falling for that. He needs to step it up and he needs to get better in terms of playing against great defensive teams. This was a great test again for this Bucks team because previous Bucks teams already faced against defensive teams, and we saw what happened. We saw what happened when they faced against the Raptors 2 years ago. You saw what happened when they faced against the Heat last year. And
Yeah.
the teams are once you get into the playoffs, teams is just going to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You
They're
know,
going to try to.
whether it works
Yeah.
or not is different. But if great teams, when they have great players, defensive players, it's going to work unless you change your style, unless you get better, or unless the coaching gets better.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah, you got a point
So
right
yeah,
there.
I'm not giving the honest pass on this. This can't happen. You know, you said this is possible. This is a possible finals match, but if this happens, keeps happening, there won't be a finals match for the Bucks because I'm getting annoyed. And now it's the second straight game they lost to a possible championship contending team. Actually, no, a championship contending team. The
Yeah.
losing to the Nets a couple nights ago. Now losing to the Lakers. You know,
Yeah.
they need these big wins to show people that they're there.
Yeah. But they could keep close, but being close doesn't matter. It's either that you're able to beat them or you're just not at this point.
Yeah, but we shall see. A great win by the Lakers coming off of that bounce back loss against the Warriors, and another disappointing loss back to back for the Bucks. We'll see if they can rebound and get it done down the stretch.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of rebounding and getting it done down the stretch, the Pelicans played against the Jazz. Pelicans looking to rebound off of that loss against the Jazz a few nights ago. And spoiler alert, it didn't happen. The Pelicans, you guys
Go
want to
ahead.
say? Okay.
No, go ahead. I'm
Pelicans
waiting
came
to
out strong, actually, though. It looked like it was going to happen. The Pelicans came out strong, got into an early double-digit lead. Looked like they was going to a halftime double-digit lead. But no, the Jazz came storming back, led by Donovan Mitchell. Mike Conley also had a great game last night. And Jordan Clarkson, possible sixth man of the year. And they really got back into the game in terms of the end of the second quarter. Then the third quarter hit, they just took over offensively, defensively, all across the board. And that
Yeah.
basically the game ended in the third quarter.
Yeah.
So that was really it. Jazz win, and now they won 7 straight. But
Yeah. I'm just gonna keep this brief and simple because, like, you just said it right there, right? The Pelicans came out red hot, like, they looked like they were the ones who looked like they were gonna take over the game, but plot twist, it was the other team that kind of made the switch around.
plot
and
twist.
and like and like it was crazy because it was just like the Jazz, like just like you said, the end of the first half and all throughout the second half, like you remember the statement, like if he dies, he dies. Like what I mean. When somebody's wounded and they look like they have no chance of surviving, you kill the wounded and it's over. And Donovan Mitchell,
Oh
man.
my
Oh
God.
my
Hold on. Pull
God.
up the footage of what he did to Alexander Walker. Oh my goodness. He had Alexander Walker playing like you on defense. I mean, it was really bad. It was really
Nah, yeah, man. He was just cooking, and once again, he did it to the team again. He started off strong in the first quarter, and from that point on, you knew he was going to get it going. And the moment he started going, he didn't stop. He didn't stop. He
Yep.
was just doing it all over from three, inside, attacking. the common parts of his game that we love to see from him, his strengths, he was just doing it all around. He had his imprints all over the floor.
Yep. And also one thing that we haven't mentioned is Mike Conley, who's improved vastly from last year. Remember, he struggled a lot last year. Definitely
Yeah,
early in the middle part of the season, he got a little better towards the end. But now it's looked like he knows the system so much better, and he knows the playbook so much better. He knows his teammates so much better, and it's reflecting on the court now with the way he's playing.
yeah, yes, he has. Mike Conley has improved vastly from last year because like
Yeah, I know. I
he,
just said that.
yeah, he just had a low kind of start to the season. Look, you already said it. You already said it, right? But let's be honest. This was just like a whole team effort all around. This is just a whole
Mm-hmm.
team effort all around. The whole team was clicking, getting to their spots, doing it defensively. Everything you said right there. So I think at this point, to skip the game, it's over. Utah had it before the even the half of the third quarter could even happen. They already had the game. So let's just move on from that at that point.
Yep. As I said earlier, the Utah Jazz have now won 7 straight, and they are on fire. And I'm looking forward to see how well they can go against the Western Conference elites, thus being, the Lakers. But all right. There was another game that was played last night. And I don't know who was playing. I can't seem to figure it out, and I don't know who won.
Yeah, I don't
But
know. Yeah, I think
it
it was
seemed.
them.
Oh, there it is. Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
there
I
it is,
got it now.
right here, right? Yeah, my bad. I thought it was
Anyway,
them. My
like I
bad.
was. Anyway, like I was saying, the Knicks did play, and they played against the on fire Golden State Warriors, and this game was so disgustingly played. In terms of the fouls, oh my gosh, it was like if you watch the game, it was a foul call every other play. It was just excruciating. Like the
Yeah.
Warriors and the Knicks had a combined of 48 free throws in the first half. In the first half. Why would anybody want to sit there and watch free throws being shot? That is not well, that's basketball, but that's not
Pure
that's not
basketball. That's not pure.
yeah, that's not pure basketball.
Mm.
Oh, it was really hard to watch in certain times. It was 50 foul calls in 44 minutes. Like
What you
what?
they thought this was the 80s all over again, huh?
Oh my god, it was really terrible. And then Draymond got ejected for yelling at his teammate. But foolish. He got mad with Wiseman, as you know, he's a veteran and he's trying to mentor Wiseman, lead him onto the right path, tell him was right and was wrong. And he was yelling at Wiseman, and they gave him a tech, was your second tech in the game, and he got ejected. And that really just detoured the Warriors' um mentality and their on-court communication because
Yeah,
Draymond
yeah.
is their leader, he's their emotional leader, and once he left, then it just went downhill. And the Knicks was already playing great before he got ejected. But
Well,
speaking of
no
the
record
Knicks,
breaking tonight.
yeah, speaking of the Knicks, let's talk about them. They held Curry. Curry had 30. Yes, Curry did have 30. But he shot 5 for 14, 5-14 for 3. And if you watch the game, Alfred Payne did a fantastic job guarding Curry. I've never seen a man fight through so many screens in my life. He was fighting hard, pushing hard through those screens. And
Yeah.
the system around, they did not want Curry to get into rhythm. They did not want him to, every time that he was on that three-point line, the people just watching him, all the eyes were on him. Alfred Payne was on him, contesting him heavily, making sure that he did not get an inch of breathing room. And Curry struggled. And Curry really did struggle. And I was glad because now, the Knicks are not laughing stock. You don't have to break past the record, Reggie Miller's record against the Knicks. That'll have to
Yeah.
wait for a later time. Um, and yeah, and the Warriors was really out of sorts. A lot of turnovers, a lot of fouls, obviously, as I said. A lot of missed shots, never really got into rhythm. And bad defensively as well. RJ Barrett, 28. Mitchell Robinson, it felt like there was a dunk every other play. Oh yeah, this is a all around great team win for the Knicks. A bad performance, lackluster by the Warriors. Terrible performance by the refs. And so I'll be looking forward because now the Knicks are at 500 again. They're on a 3-game winning streak after losing 5 straight. Now I'll be looking forward to how they played, against the other elite teams.
I just want to say this, right? Like, if you know the historical perspective of the Knicks, you always know one thing about the really good teams that they had, that it was always based on defensive mentality. You
Yes.
know what I
Oh,
mean?
yep.
The
Oakley,
defensive mindset,
Ewing,
yeah.
Willis
Hmm.
Reed.
Willis Reed, all those guys, hard nosed, gritty, blue collared, white collar, whatever you want to call it, defense. That's what their whole mantra is throughout the history of the Knicks. And when you talk about a team like the Knicks, who I gotta be honest, I know their culture is all out of whack right now and messed up and everything and stuff.
James Dolan.
Yes, but we all got to be honest at the end of the day. The Knicks have really good talent. They have really good talent. It's just that now when you put them in a culture like this where there's no true kind of guidance or whatsoever, it messes them up. But now this is where the thing is. This is where it comes to having a great coach, somebody like a Tom Thibodeau, who's not only is a great coach, but is a great defensive mind, who has done a lot for the game in terms of defense so far in terms of this generation, in terms of how he goes defensive wise in schemes and what makes his team so great. And then you start to see that with the Knicks because now they're playing defense, and their defense is helping them win games. Don't get me wrong, their offense is amazing too because these young guys are going out and getting buckets easy. But at the same time, what makes them highly important is the fact that they living up to the Knicks' history of being a defensive minded kind of team, and that's what's helping them succeed through this season.
Yep, the Knicks defensively has really improved. I mean, every time the Warriors got into the interior, they was able to block a shot, whether it was Toppin, who's playing well, by the way, Richard Robinson or Nerlens Noel. Yeah, it's credit to Tom Thibodeau because he really has them playing good defense and hard defense,
Yeah.
and that's what I love. That's Knicks basketball at its finest. But all right. Oh, before we go into predictions, there was a trade that happened. Second year pro Kevin Porter Jr. after all the stuff that was going on in Cleveland, the locker room and the locker, and Torian Prince has now been traded to the Houston Rockets for a protected second round pick. And our thoughts real quickly. Well, my thoughts first. I think this was a good pickup by the Rockets. A really good pickup. They got a young talent. He has a bright future ahead of him. He had some problems in Cleveland. Hopefully that settles down, in Houston. But he can score, he can shoot, and he has a lot of potential in him. And I think that he can develop well against with this Rockets team.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. Same thing, everything that you just said right there, along with the fact that again he has the potential to be one of the many best scorers in the league, one of the least scorers in the league, and also it's just like the only thing is he just needs to control his behavior, and because Boogie Cousins ain't having that, so like he got to control that behavior. Outside of that, I feel like in a situation in
He ain't
which the
having that, but
Rockets,
he having a tech.
but like outside of that, out of that, he's being put into a perfect situation with this Rockets team, the team that's in rebuilding mode, who even though who has not only just young talent but also have a lot of veteran presence. So I look for him
Yep.
to blossom.
Yep, I agree with you 100% on that statement. Good luck to Kevin Porter Jr., and we'll see how he fits well with the Houston Rockets. All right, now it's Prediction time for tonight's set of games. By the way, just a quick side note: the Grizzlies' next 3 games are postponed, so you will not be seeing the Grizzlies or Ja Morant. For the next, I guess what? When is the next time they play? When it's not postponed? Uh, you will not see the Grizzlies until till Wednesday, next Wednesday, and that might be postponed.
Hey,
So yeah,
hey,
you won't see the Grizzlies until further notice, but definitely not for the next 3 games.
Hey, look, I'll say this really quickly. Like, even though this is a serious time and everything and stuff, and all these postponements is kind of messing up the season, this is kind of a blessing for the players in a way. They got some more opportunities to chill and rest and everything, and just condition their bodies. Let's just say that.
Yeah, because the Bucks and the Wizards game got postponed as well, which was the sixth straight game the Wizards game got postponed.
Yeah.
Got postponed. Sorry. Yeah, I haven't seen the Wizards play in a while, man. Hopefully, when they come back, they don't play as bad defense as they did before. Hopefully, they got it together. But knowing
Well, when you
them,
go to hospital, then yeah.
stop. Knowing them, I mean, I don't know. And the Bucks need this postponed after, to get themselves together, to get themselves ready to be more on the top in the Eastern Conference. But all right, now let's go with predictions. Rapid fire. Bulls or the Hornets?
Bulls.
Bulls. Rockets or the Pistons?
Rockets.
Rockets. Magic or the Pacers?
Pacers.
Magic. Watch
Put
they
your
lose.
faith in them. Don't forget. Don't.
Watch they lose. Watch they lose. I know. I just want to test it. A rematch of the fantastic game 2 nights ago with the amazing performance of Colin Sexton. It is the new Brooklyn Nets Big Three up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Who do you have?
Do you really about to ask me that?
What?
It's the Brooklyn Nets. Like, come on now. Like, look it. I'm not saying they got lucky, but like, come on now. They're not doing the Big Three is not making that happen again. They're not making that happen again. Come on now.
Well, they could because all three of them are not known for their defense. So Colin Sexton could happen.
Hold on, wait. You got to give credit to KD. That Warriors
They're not known
team,
for their defense. I never said they weren't bad.
Okay.
They're not known for their defense.
Yeah, they're not. You're right.
So yeah, but it's gonna be a long night. But I got the Nets. Like I said, I got the Nets. You got the Nets as well, right?
Yeah, I got the Nets.
All right. First primetime game we'll be covering, national TV televised game that we'll be covering, features again a rematch from Wednesday's game, which was the Boston Celtics up against Sixers. Of course, M.B coming off that amazing match performance, having 40 points.
I got the Sixers.
I got the Sixers as well. Unless Tatum comes back.
Yeah, Tatum will come back.
That's the Heat. Yeah, the Heat or the Raptors?
Heat. For the fact you even asked about the Raptors, bro, you even said Heat or the Raptors.
Listen, I'm gonna surprise you. I got the Raptors. Yep, I think.
Oh man, watch
them
win. Watch them win now because I just laughed about that.
I think Kawhi is really gonna have a great performance. Oh wait, that's not 2018. No jokes aside, I do have the Raptors though. They just really disappoint me, and they have been disappointing me. All right, the Hawks or the Timberwolves? Hawks.
Yeah.
The Mavericks or the Spurs? Interesting
Mavericks.
Game.
Yeah, interesting game. Mavericks.
I got Spurs. Postponed. The next primetime game that we'll be covering features an interesting one. The Denver Nuggets up against the Phoenix Suns. Both teams need a win.
Phoenix Suns. I'm going with the Phoenix Suns because Murray has not been coming through for me, man. Murray's been having an up and down. I don't know what's going on.
You're right. He does have an up and down, but I don't need Murray to come up. I just need Jokic. So I got the Nuggets. Next, the Knicks or the Kings? The Knicks. Next, the Thunder or the Clippers? And it's not because I'm a Knicks fan. I just have no faith in the Kings. Now watch them win.
Nah, I'm going to choose the Kings.
You got to choose the Kings?
Yeah, I'm going to choose the Kings.
Just because I said that?
No, I want to put my faith into them one time.
No, watch the Aaron Fox. Watch the Aaron Fox drop 50.
Yeah, he going to drop 50. They better win. That's all.
50 in a loss. All right. Next and last is the OKC Thunder up against the Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers. All right. I think it's time to wrap things up. Any final thoughts?
No, just good luck to Kevin Porter. That's it.
Good luck to Kevin Porter. We go on him. Who's that? Like you could have
Oh
mentioned,
wait, by the way,
like
real
Curry
quickly,
or like Braun, Giannis, Kevin Porter.
look at. Oh wait, by the way, real
Joking,
quick,
by the
if
way, I'm joking.
anybody,
I know how good he is. He's very talented.
yeah, if anybody who was shocked by Colin Sexton's performance last night, just all I gotta say is go back to his college days and look up that game against Minnesota when he went basically 3-on-5 on the whole team.
Pull up the footage.
Like, that's all I gotta say. That's it. That's all I want to say, man. Just go
All
back to
right,
his
we'll leave it
college.
at that. We'll go watch Colin Sexton's performance tonight. Tonight. We'll see if he can do the same thing against the Nets in this game. But all right, for now, thank you guys for watching today's pod. Make sure you tune into tomorrow's podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And once again,
Oh,
my fault.
and make sure to follow IG down in the description below.
Yeah, I'm messing up.
And
And once again, I am Evan.
I'm Ja.
And this was the Mind of Basketball Podcast.